Check, 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 check one, check. Check one, check, 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 check two.
Can you guys come to the loading dock?
We get to go in here.
Getting there, for
We
sure.
had the simulcast up in the theater, we were testing it, it sounded wonderful.
Is it working over in the theater?
Well, we just happened to be in there when you were on stage saying stuff like about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And it sounded great on the
Oh, okay,
simulcast.
fantastic. Thank you.
So. Yeah. What time is it?
They don't have a radio, so they're not listening to the radio. You should be on
So you're just gonna go by Lindsay today? Yes. No, only answers that. Okay, just give him the floor, sir. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Hey Amy, so are we not simulcasting in here since we don't have any audio?
If you can't get it up and running, then no, you can't simulcast. Testing, testing.
Good morning. I'd like to ask if you could please move to the center of your rows to make sure that all of the empty seats are on the end so we can accommodate all of our guests. So if you please wouldn't mind scooting in so there's no empty seats beside you. Thank you very much. And there's still 2 empty rows up front, so don't feel bad about coming on up. Good morning. If there is an empty seat next to you, I ask that you please scoot in to leave those empty seats on the aisles so our guests can fill in. We will be full. There are some seats down here in front. So again, if you wouldn't mind scooting in and not leaving any empty seats beside you. We've got 2 up front here, 5 up front here. If anybody has any empty seats near them, if they would raise their hand for me. Over here, we've got some. We'll get started in just about 5 minutes. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you. My name is Amy Smith, and I'm the Director of Admissions at Georgia Southern University. And I'd like to welcome you to our open house, and I encourage you to take advantage of all that awaits you with this morning's program. We are so excited to share Georgia's large-scale, small-field research university with you on this beautiful Saturday morning. To begin our open house today, I'd like to introduce to you the 13th president of Georgia Southern University, Dr. Jamie Aber.
Good morning. When I see all of this energy on so many faces this early on a Saturday morning, I'm thinking we need to offer a whole lot more 8 o'clock classes, Jeremy, don't you think? Well, welcome to the campus of Georgia Southern University and our first undergraduate open house of the year. You've made a great decision to continue pursuing your education and an excellent choice in considering Georgia Southern University as your choice of university. You know, in a recent article that I was reading, only 66%, two-thirds of high school seniors end up enrolling in universities around the country, in higher education across the country. And of that 66%, only half actually complete college. So completing college will automatically put you in the top third of your peer group. So for me, it's imperative that you find a place that matches your passions and a place where you know you're going to be in an environment where you can succeed. As you'll see today, we offer the entire spectrum of majors through 7 colleges, and we do so in an environment that's rich in culture and traditions and embraces principles of civility, kindness, collaboration, wellness, social responsibility, and student growth and success. Today is your opportunity to get to know us. And I'm delighted to say it's also a day that we get to know you. Ask a lot of questions. The faculty, staff, and students that are here today accept your success as our responsibility. Georgia Southern is truly a place where the best and brightest gather to partake in one of the most wholesome educational experiences in the entire country. We are classified as a doctoral research institution by the Carnegie Foundation, and that is a designation that is only shared by 7% of the 3,800 colleges and universities across the United States. But we have never, ever lost our focus on our mission for undergraduate education. That's why so many high-quality students, nearly 21,000 in all, trust us to provide the educational foundation which will serve as the foundation of their careers and the rest of their lives. Our average SATs at Georgia Southern University are 1,115. That is over 100 points higher than the national average SAT of 1,011. It is truly a place where the best and the brightest gather. And they gather from all around. While 93% of our students come from the state of Georgia, with 45% of our students coming from the Atlanta Metroplex, we also have students from 49 different states and 88 different countries here at Georgia Southern to help create a rich, diverse academic culture for our students. You'll learn today that we are very proud of who we are. We're very proud of our institution's success, but mostly we're proud of our students' success. Our students impact society and they impact the workforce. A recent economic study showed that our faculty, our students, and our alum have an $846 million impact on the Georgia workforce. And that's something we're really proud of here at Georgia Southern University. I sincerely hope you choose to become a part of this vibrant community that we call the Eagle Nation. Thank you for joining us this morning. Have a wonderful visit on our campus.
Thank you so much, Dr. Abair. We're glad that you could join us today. My first role this morning is to review the schedule. So each of you should have received a schedule for open house at registration. So if you'd like to pull that out now, we will go over a few things. You can see that there are concurrent programs and campus tours offered throughout the morning. These include sessions about housing, financial aid, spirit and traditions, the Multicultural Student Program Center, leadership programming, career services, and our university honors program, as well as sessions for our freshmen, joint enrolled, out of state, transfer, and Eagle Incentive Program students. There's also a session in Block 3 held in Spanish for families who may want to speak with admissions counselors in their native language. You'll choose one session from each of the blocks to attend. Many of these sessions are offered in multiple blocks, so be strategic and know that you will have time to attend all the things that you'd like. These sessions are being held in 4 different buildings. Here in the Russell Student Union, the Natural Sciences Building, the Foy Building, and the Williams Center. All of these buildings are very close together for easy access. But if you have any trouble finding a location, please stop and ask a staff member wearing a gold name tag, and we'd be happy to help you find your way. We encourage you and your family to plan your choices carefully to get the most out of your morning. There are descriptions in your schedule of each of the sessions offered. Following this morning's session, 8 of our residence halls will be available for viewing. Now, you may have noticed we have quite a crowd here today, which is very exciting. Located inside the bags that you received at check-in, there is a housing ticket to a residence hall. This ticket gives you a specific hall to visit on your own first. After you've toured this specific hall, you can attend any of the other hall tours at your leisure until 1:30 p.m. So beginning at 11:30 a.m. and no earlier than 11:30, those residence halls will open for tours. Note that the university housing sessions that are offered during the 3 breakout blocks are information sessions, not tours. So again, don't go to any of the residence halls until 11:30. They'll be ready for you at that time. Also know that we've organized the residence hall tours in this manner to help manage our crowds and ensure that everyone gets a chance to see the halls of their choice. Finally, I encourage you to explore our campus in Statesboro during the afternoon. There are many things that you can do following open house, like visit the Georgia Southern Museum, the Center for Wildlife Education, or our annual International Festival, which is taking place just a few miles away at Mill Creek Regional Park from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Please let an admissions staff member know if you're interested in heading over to that festival. Also, the Department of Communication Arts will be offering tours of Sanford Hall and the Center for Art and Theater between 12 p.m. and 2 p.m. today. Faculty and staff members from that department, as well as current students, will be available to answer your questions and show you around the facilities and classroom spaces. If you're interested in attending those tours with the Department of Communication Arts, you can speak with a representative from that department at the Academic Browse in the Williams Center. Now, some of you are here today because you're trying to decide if Georgia Southern is the right university for you, if it's the right fit. Others of you may have already made your choice to attend Georgia Southern. You've applied for admission, you've been accepted, and I congratulate you on making that great next step. I hope that you'll utilize your time here today to become aware of the next steps in committing to Georgia Southern. Others of you are juniors in high school, or you're just starting your college search. I encourage you to talk with our admissions counselors and learn more about the process that you'll follow next year for scholarships, the University Honors Program, or other opportunities. Or you might be interested in dual enrollment, our Move On When Ready program, and we can address all of those questions today. We're here to help you. Whatever your situation, as you experience this day today, we hope that you'll recognize that Georgia Southern is a student-centered university that's committed to the success of our students. And if you have any questions before you leave, we'll have an admissions counselor one-on-one Q&A at 11:45 in the Russell Student Union Theater. Now, a few minutes ago, I mentioned this idea of fit. As you're searching for the right college fit, it might help you to know what current students and current parents think about their experience at Southern. Last spring, we conducted a survey of those two populations. We heard from hundreds of students and parents, and here are just a few highlights. Our students reported at a 91% rate that they were satisfied with their overall experience at Georgia Southern. 93% say that the value of their education has been a worthy investment. Our parents said similar things. 94% were proud to be the parent of a Georgia Southern student. 89% feel that they are kept well informed of what's happening on campus. And 87% were satisfied with their students' overall experience. Our last survey of students and parents was back in 2007. So as a point of comparison, we looked at one question very carefully. Would you choose Georgia Southern again? 90% of our students said yes, they would. And our parents, same thing, 90% yes. We also, just this semester, specifically asked our out-of-state students about their perceptions and would they choose Georgia Southern again. 91% said yes. That kind of satisfaction rating is unheard of in higher education. That 90% would choose us again, I think that's the very best that we can hope for. So that's what students and parents told us in a survey. But I'd really like for you to hear it for yourself. We have so many current students here at Open House today, giving tours, helping you guys find your way. Please ask them questions, hear their stories. But I have one particular student with us this morning that I'd like for you to hear from first, and that's Jeremy Mack. Jeremy is a senior political science major from Columbus, Georgia, who has an exceptional story to tell, one that could very easily be any of you in just a few years. So please welcome Jeremy.
Well, good morning. I've been able to talk with some of you already this morning. To the rest of you, good morning. I'm very excited to be here with you all. It's honestly just so hard to believe that it's been 4 years since I was sitting exactly where you sit today. It feels like just yesterday that I was trying to narrow down the list of colleges that I would be applying to. I was very excited, but also more nervous than I'd ever been about really anything. What if I picked the wrong school? What if people don't like me and I don't have any friends? I know I'm smart, but what if it's just too hard? These were real fears that I spent a lot of time thinking about. I was one of only 67 people in my graduating high school class. So I knew that there would be a lot more people at any college that I chose, but I still wanted a university where I would be valued and thought of as a person instead of just another number. I wanted to be challenged academically and also have opportunities to get real-world experience. I can honestly say that I found all of this here at Georgia Southern. It all started on move-in day. My community leader, Lauren, came around and got everyone from our floor and took us all to the dining commons to go to lunch so that we could start to get to know one another. Shortly after that, I met two guys, Nick and Tyler, who are now my best friends and have actually been my roommates ever since. The three of us played Ultimate Frisbee on our residence hall's intramural team and had just such a great time. We nearly won a championship. We were that close. Anytime we weren't busy, you could always find us either in the Centennial Place courtyard or on Sweetheart Circle, either throwing the Frisbee or throwing a football. Or also in the dining halls, because we kind of like to eat a lot, just a little bit. Over the last few years, I've had the opportunity to really develop really good relationships with so many of our professors and administrators. I think there's something to be said about the fact that when I walk around campus or go around Statesboro or most recently Oxford, Mississippi, I can run into President Hebert or any of my freshman professors, and they'll still know my name and actually still want to have a conversation with me. My very first class in college was my first year experience course. These are really cool classes because you actually get to pick between a large number of themes that are always really fun. So some of my friends took their classes in fantasy sports, Harry Potter, and there was even one course about the 1990s. I took a slightly different course. I decided that it would be a great idea to take constitutional law. I'll never forget that first day of class when the professor, Dr. Wiggins, strolled into class about 5 minutes late and assured us that he wasn't late, we we were just early. Dr. Wiggins quickly became my favorite professor, despite the fact that he's in a completely different college than my major. I always love stopping by his office to hear the latest episode of the sibling rivalry that's going on in his house. You see, he and his wife actually have 9 kids, so I'm sure you can imagine the stories that he has to tell. When I decided that I no longer wanted to be a lawyer and instead wanted to go into higher education, it was so nice to have people like Dr. Thompson, our Vice President for Student Affairs and Enrollment Management, share her story with me, as well as Dr. Wiggins, since he had actually been a lawyer. Dr. Thompson unfortunately couldn't be here today, but she's truly one of my favorite people here at Georgia Southern. One thing that you quickly come to learn about her is that she's not afraid to tell it like it is. Dr. Thompson was a teacher and coach before going into higher education, and I remember her comically sharing with me that she often had to correct the officials in her games because they obviously just weren't paying attention to the game and didn't know what they were talking about. So Dr. Thompson told me a lot about her time working in admissions and the journey that she took to get to her current position. So, like her, I began to spend a lot of time in the admissions office, and I was even able to get a job there and learn a lot more about the structure and the details of the institution as a whole. As a Southern ambassador, I've been able to give a lot of tours, and I know that so many of you in the crowd today have a lot of the same fears that I had. My advice to you is don't worry. During your time here today, be sure to speak with the academic department that you're interested in majoring in. Ask them about the courses that they offer and about the different things that the faculty is involved in. Go outside and speak with some of our student organizations. The Office of Student Activities oversees our close to 300 student organizations, and I promise that you will be able to find something that you're interested in. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Most recently, I actually decided to join the swing dance club here on campus, which is really funny because just a few months ago, I couldn't begin to tell you what a Lindy Hop or a Texas Tommy is. Visit the Recreation Activities Center and find out more about club sports and intramurals. Even though it's pretty cold out today, you just might see someone swimming in the indoor pool. I hope that during your time on campus here today, you'll begin to see the things that I've experienced over the last 4 years. And that biggest thing is family. 2 years ago, when I took it upon myself to write a petition challenging the NCAA rule, which technically declared our football team ineligible for postseason play because we were in the process of transitioning from FCS to FBS, I was blown away by the number of Georgia Southern alumni who reached out to me to tell me how proud they were of me and to let me know that if I ever needed anything from them, especially once I graduate, to just give them a call. In just a few short weeks, my petition had over 6,500 signatures and included people from all 50 states, Washington, D.C., and 9 other countries. The Eagle Nation is alive and well. I've learned that you really can find Georgia Southern Eagles everywhere. One of the things that you'll hear when you're around Georgia Southern people long enough is our "Whose House? Our House" chant. I think that's honestly one of the most accurate statements about Georgia Southern. Georgia Southern really has become my house. And I believe that when you choose to come to Georgia Southern, it also becomes your house. So I hope you all have a great day. I look forward to seeing you throughout the day and hopefully giving you some tours. Come and see me, please. But please just have a great day. Let anyone know if you have any questions. We'd be more than happy to help. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeremy. I think it is clear why we are so excited about the future of Georgia Southern University when we have exceptional students like Jeremy. But Jeremy is only one of 20,600 plus students. So I hope that during your time this morning, you'll ask our Southern Ambassador tour guides or our student volunteers, our honors and international ambassadors throughout the building, or the student organization leaders out at the Rotunda about their stories and why they chose Southern. Before we dismiss to our first breakout session, I do want to remind everyone of a few things that you certainly do not want to miss today. Our academic programs are represented by our faculty from across campus in an academic department browse. This is in the Williams Center Multipurpose Room until 11 a.m. So please make sure, whether it's right after this session or in one of the next breakout sessions, please go speak to our faculty and ask them questions about the programs and the courses that they offer. Again, that's until 11 a.m. in the Williams Center, and it's right outside of this building. Also, as Jeremy said, you do not want to miss taking a campus tour. Meet our Southern ambassadors like Jeremy outside by the rotunda at the tour tent. They'll be departing constantly for tours until noon. And again, please don't go to your residence halls until 11:30, and make sure that you go to the one printed on your ticket first. For those of you who are watching in one of our simulcast locations, I encourage you to consider staying where you are for the first session offered. In this room, in the ballroom, the next session at 9:45 will be a presentation by Financial Aid, so I encourage you to stay here for that. But if not, I encourage you now at this point to leave and enjoy all that we have going on this morning. Thank you for being here, and if you have any questions, flag me down today. Have a great day.